A fourth movie is part of another trilogy taking place sooner than you think release date, and a sacrifice made from Peter Parker's Spider-Man are just some of the things that could determine how his life is gonna be now that no one knows who's underneath the mask, Venom crossover, a day job at the Daily Bugle, we're not quite sure, and just as much excitement for what is in store.
Dr. Otto Octavius.
Wait, no, seriously, what's your actual name?
One of the biggest movies in Phase 4 of the MCU has to be Spider-Man No Way Home. And this fact is supported by the success the movie had at the box office even on the opening weekend of the premiere. The movie itself brought the multiverse of the MCU to the big screen, and it didn't take too much time for us to know that yet another trilogy featuring Tom Holland's Spider-Man is on the way. However, this is everything we know about the future of Spidey. All the other details are, as of right now, kept secret, but don't you worry. We still have some aces up our sleeve, and we'll share everything we managed to dig up regarding the fourth Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. The creative effort of the movie was recognized by Rotten Tomatoes and their score, and the movie matched the hype, so everything is good for the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man we all like and love. We were able to witness an incredible spectacle which brought not one, not two, but three different Spider-Man characters, with Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield reprising their roles of the versions of the character. With everything behind us regarding the movie, all of the attention is turned towards Sony and Marvel's next collaboration, and where will they take the character next. And without further ado, let's dive right in as we share with you all of the details we managed to find. There will be spoilers up ahead regarding the latest Spider-Man movie, and with that out of the way, let's continue.
That was when you found out.
It's safe to say that the thing that is on everyone's minds is whether a fourth movie is confirmed in any shape or form. Well, it is. And it came as a courtesy of Sony's Amy Pascal, who with such enthusiasm spoke about the future of the character and that not only a fourth movie is coming, but an entire trilogy, with her feeling a strong relationship between the two studios moving forward, with many more projects to come. And while there might not be any concrete plans for the character's future from Sony, we'll be in for a treat as the stakes are getting higher and higher, which can be seen when a comparison is made between the first Spider-Man movie from Marvel and Sony's deal and how the third panned out. As for the release date side of things, knowing that even the production process has not started, we'll just have to wait for anything official regarding the release of the movie and when it might occur.
You could make it so that he never did?
Strange. Don't cast that spell. It's too dangerous.
But if the next Spider-Man movie follows the previous ones, we should be expecting the next one to come out by the end of 2023. And knowing that Marvel has already announced 2 properties for the second half of 2023, we wouldn't be surprised to see Tom Holland as Spidey by the end of 2023, which would be a good thing as too much of a gap between sequels of a trilogy would make no physical sense at all. Assuming that this movie poses as a crossover of sorts, the one we got confirmed of coming, the movie might get delayed to early 2024, but we think that this will be as far as Sony and Marvel will go regarding the fourth Spider-Man movie under their belt. For so long, from the first recruitment mission from Tony Stark, Peter Parker has been living in the shadow of Iron Man when the suit side of things is taken into consideration. And it wasn't a bad thing at all, as it taught Peter to appreciate the things given to him for his own sake. However, the final scene of Spider-Man No Way Home showed that he made his new costume, finally putting an end to Iron Man being the one to help him with his suit department and putting his technology aside.
The longer you do it, the more dangerous it becomes.
And while this might seem like a negative thing to do, it surely helps Peter to end his struggles about his identity in the MCU, find the one that truly fits him, and make a more traditional look for himself, which would suggest that Tom Holland's Spider-Man has found his footing and is ready to rumble. This and the adoption of the simple red and blue aesthetics feels like a conscious decision from his side to homage Tobey and Andrew's Spider-Man and what he managed to learn from them and not let himself repeat their mistakes, ignoring the call of vengeance and hatred altogether. The multiverse is the name of the game for MCU's Phase 4, and we can't blame anyone. We're all enjoying how things are turning out, right? So with it, the question of whether Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield will return is also looming in the air, and at this stage, it seems very unlikely that the two will be making their reappearance anytime soon or ever in the MCU. However, the interest about the characters and the actors have spiked up with their appearances in the MCU in Spider-Man No Way Home, which should make the two series revive once again, maybe even one more installment finally catching up to Andrew Garfield's unfinished story with the series. We might never know. There are so many possibilities.
Hello, Peter.
On the other hand, there's also a chance that we might get at least one of the two Spider-Man appearing, possibly in a Miles Morales origin movie, which would be perfect as the movie could address some unfinished business for one of the characters. Tom Holland's Spider-Man has too much going on right now, and that's the reason why we think that him stepping back into a story of another would just prove to be a weird and dumb move for him and both of the studios. Thus, with everything taken into consideration, we think that it would be best for the return of the characters to be showcased into a Secret Wars multiversal crossover, with even that being another wishful thinking.
Please, we're safe to have the universe together. I think we're beyond you calling me sir.
Okay, Steven.
The most intriguing thing about the upcoming trilogy is that even though it'll be part of the MCU, the story of it has not been set up, not even slightly, by the finale of the first trilogy, concluding with Spider-Man No Way Home. The noble sacrifice of Peter Parker leaves him completely isolated, his Aunt May's dead, his friends don't know him, and even the Avengers dynamic he could once call upon is likely to be impossible. Thus, the possibility of Spider-Man switching towards the Sonyverse for his next movie is that much higher. However, how this shift pans out for the Marvel and Sony deal is still unclear. The one hint we got from the post-credit scene is all thanks to Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock and the part of a symbiote he left in the MCU after he got sent back from where he came from. And knowing how Marvel is with their post-credit scenes in their history, we can be sure that this little detail will be more significant than you might all think, particularly with the tantalizing prospect of Holland's Peter Parker getting his hands on the symbiote-infused black Spider-Man suit.
Sorry, kid.
Yeah, me too.
Don't.
On top of everything, Peter Parker has an obvious narrative right now, and that is survival. Repairing his relationship with MJ and Ned would seem like the most logical thing for him to do, but with the two leaving for MIT in Boston, Peter will be left alone in New York to continue both this friendly neighborhood Spider-Man business and whatever day job he finds, maybe even finding a way to work for J. Jonah Jameson and the Daily Bugle. On a related note, tell us down in the comments below what are your thoughts on MCU's Spider-Man so far, how did he differ from the other Spider-Man before him, and in where would you like to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man go next in the next planned trilogy for the character. And also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.